think it's our studio. It's vacation hotel to the solar system. Let me check if True's here.
I think True was here 1 second ago and she dropped off.
Okay, then maybe
Escaped from the presentation.
Last minute.
Yeah.
Mason is here. It's quite late in Melbourne, isn't it?
Hi, Mason.
Oh, I mean, it's usual. Stay up late for architecture student.
What do you think? What do you think about the project so far?
Oh, it's quite different, quite diverse studios. I learned a lot from my other studio as well, like how they approach narrative. I think something I can learn from kids. Yeah.
Nice.
And then you guys mentioned a lot of like books and readings, and I think it's worth have a look.
Yeah, Alan assigns a book reading list to.
Alan is literally like a library.
Alan is a library.
Alan had to read so many fucking books in his education. All of my tutors just threw books at me.
Now you get to read that someone else.
I think they thought that you asked for it.
No, I mean, it was usually because like any other curious student, a lot of what they've done or they talk about or their interests, they're not 100% new, and there's like a lot of reading that kind of exists for what they want to do already. And like a lot of the tutors I've had are usually quite like theory driven, like they're very smart bookworm PhD type people. So they themselves have done a lot of reading. But I like it. I don't mind it. It's just my bookshelf is just filled with books of architecture.
Yeah, we can tell. Oh, I can see True has just joined back into the chat.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, I just lost internet connection.
No worries. You can share your presentation whenever you're ready.
Yes.
And Moni is still in the chat, right? I can send you something.
Okay, so the first thing I want to share my presentation with story. So Phoenix and Fern have the auntie and uncle with these two people had traveling across the world together, and they even climbed to the Everest. So they get married on the 4 years ago, but as a regular couple, they have some conflict and also had some fight. And when Phoenix and Fern has visited them, they heard that his auntie had said to the uncle, "Give ours some space." So as a genius kid, with some actuality, with some amazing skill to building some researcher in building, they had thinking to actually do a project to give their auntie and uncle some space to connect them again. So Phineas and Fern called for Isabella to come and join to build up and creating some space in Mars. So they started to think about building the Martian oasis. So first of all, they had looked at the solar system, which showed that Mars is 4 planets near the Earth and a sister of the Earth. And then this one, they see the distance between the Sun and the Mars and also the Earth. Only 0.5 astronomical units. And then they think of what can they build for, what can they what amazing side build to let their auntie and uncle to enjoy. They found that the sunsets on Mars is different from the Earth. They have blue sunsets, not like on Earth. And another thing, like Magellan's glow. Birds, when they look at all about information, general information about the Mars, they think of about challenges which they need to face to creating space on Mars. The first thing that's about the atmosphere. The atmosphere on Mars is breathing and unbreathable for humans to survive. And also the temperature is cooler, very much than on Earth. And on Mars, the gravity is lower. So, come up by that, Isabella has suggested that maybe they can learn from they can learn from researching and collect some information about history of the Mars, the history of discovery. So they looking at and found out that a lot of scientists and researchers has do many things, but only success in 1965 with Mariner 4, and another rover has landed. We can see here another rover has landed around 1970s, like Viking, and they found out some map with a landing rover up to now. So Isabella asking about what they actually found and cool stuff that they can achieve and use this to have to do with their projects. The first thing they look at that's achievement of Viking 1, which they found some frog which come from different origin and have some element from its lie on Earth, and the seasonal and the wind on Mars at night is pretty calm. And with Opportunity rover, scientists had found the trace of humidity, and with Phoenix, people finally found some clue for the water with water eye, and Curiosity they found methane with an extraordinary element to organic element to show that on Mars in the ocean has a sign of life. And the next one, Perseverance, the latest rover, which allow the scientists and people to take new technology and continue to track and found sign of life on Mars. So Isabella asking, how can we survive on Mars without with this kind of challenges? I think so. Phoenix has said that we can build for ourselves an energy system. Like the first one, I want to show that solar system and the wind energy was very similar, like on Earth. But Phoenix has complete that on 89 we can collect the solar energy and the wind energy on the wind on Mars is predicam, so it's not a lot of energy to have to make to actually run the building. So we need another energy system. So Isabella suggests that maybe technology come from geothermal, which we can rip a geothermal tube in on the hotspot into the ground like 15 kilometers. But then Phoenix has said again that this is not enough because the geothermal actually took some with the geothermal can give it energy, but how about the water? People can live without the water and food. So we can allow the auntie and uncle to enjoy the space on Mars. So my friend said that how about the new technology come from microbiome, which can allow Earth to use methane and two kinds of microbiome to collect it and make water and also supply for habitats. So they take a look at all about information about the site to set the site option. The first one, they need the solar energy, so the hotel need to settle in equatorial zone, and for geothermal energy, they need to near volcano to for the geothermal to grip into the ground on hotspot. And looking at the daytime and nighttime, they saw that on Perseverance spot over there, the daytime only minus 10 degrees Celsius and the nighttime approximately minus 75 degrees Celsius. And also because they need the methane to have produced and make water, so they also look at a diagram which show the volume of methane on Perseverance is the highest, which over there we can see from the color. So they set up the hotel near the Perseverance. It is side option nearly with the topography. And they setting up the cooling which allow their auntie and uncle can fly over it with missile launcher cloud. So Isabella asking, but how we can fly over it? Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear
I
you.
just got the image, message from Ben. So you can.
Oh yeah, don't worry. It was sent a while ago.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Just got confused. So Isabella asking, how can we let your auntie and uncle fly over it? So Phoenix has said that they will have a new system for the glue and custom over there look like this, with the new design to fix it. And the other thing that they should set to for people can enjoy is flying from the high to the low, play like skating board, and maybe with the motorbike, which also new technology, new like this one. So And the cool thing that we can do inside, firstly, because they can produce water and grow plants so for space farming. And also the swimming pool over there and the bath and some green pavilion. So they had set up the time to travel into the Martian oasis on the summer because in the summertime the volume methane will be more than other, and the summertime temperature is quite good for the trip. So and again, Isabella asking about how people can transport to the Mars. So the first idea come up. They have a rocket to move to the Mars like a usual way, but this will took 5 months to reach to Mars, even when we can stay on the space station for the rest. So it will took a lot of time. It's not good for the trip. So Phoenix has said a new thing that's from space elevator, which allow people can get to Mars on several days or to a month, but because this is a new technology on 2015, so they can actually quite get that it's several days or a month. But Isabella found a new technology and new proof that come from it is NASA scientist Philip Lubin. He has developed a new system which allow tourists and people can go to Mars just in 3 days. This is completely suitable for the tourists and also for their auntie and uncle. So the initial concept, they think they will build and creating a self-sustainable and self-sufficient hotel to give their relative own possibility to enjoy the cool thing outside and also inside the hotel. So the first reference thing Isabella and Phineas and Fern has taken that they learn from the shape of space station over there. And for the linking on a block together, and they thinking a new actually a new hanging structure which come up with subway hanging subway, and because they didn't think about radiation, so Isabella had talked about it, and they think maybe they should build an umbrella to avoiding the radiation for the hotel. And because the title of the building is Martian Oasis, so they add in some organic element like an apple. And also they think about the facade with combining about solar panel and wind turbine. So this will allow the hotel to movable and be a kinetic architecture. And they look at some reference for the interior, which over there is for creating a mood within the swimming pool and the cool and the hot bath. And the corridor will have the light, so the light will change when people cross around it. And the stair over there will have a shape, a complete shape. And the gel thermal tube, they will hang mixing with the plant around it, and also a stair into it to get people to go through it and enjoy the view over there and growing the plant. and the image that will have inside the geothermal. So come up, they mention some concept. The first one for the umbrella, which will allow the radiation. This will look like this. This is a geothermal tube, and I didn't add in the gland over there and the stair, but yeah, it's here. So this will function. The first one is the ring core with main thing of the hotel, and the entrance of the hotel will settle over there, and people and tourists can go through it to get into the another story and level, and biological energy will on the ground over there, and the living block will hang in over the cliff, and the swimming pool will be the top of it to people to enjoy the blue sunsets and the night sky and the sky of the Mars. And the restaurant will be hanging lower than the play zone. So what is look on perspective, and this is the living block space, and this is another structure for the living block person over there, so people can link in this and add in some element. I didn't add in on image, but yes, that is on time for listening. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you, True.
Hey, just one quick question. The living block space, is that your design, or is that a reference image?
I play on the projects, and I'm pre-modelist.
Because the blue sunset, you can see it from the window. It's quite nice.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what other tutors comments are.
Okay, I'll give some comment. So I think this is very, very nice. So you have all your program well considered, and you have your structure and this shading device, which is very nice. And also, I think you're getting there. You hit a lot of points, right? You have this large container shape blocks, which is cells. So it's quite easy for to get into the rocket and launch it from the Earth. So it's a very efficient way to construct a hotel from the Earth. So I think this hotel is actually viable for within like 50 years. So it's actually quite nice. And some of the points, so you have this shading, but it's not blocking all the solar radiation. So normally you want to minimize this gap between this shading device and the ground. So either you cover it like this, or you can build the Earth up to this level, and so it meets the shading device, and you can just have several opening, so people can just get out from this opening, and inside this opening it actually has the oxygen. So people actually can get on this space, get inside of under this solar, I mean the shading device, and enjoy the space. And also it can be a very nice greenhouse space because you get all the sunlight and you get airs, right? So and
Yes.
and also the plants will keep producing the oxygen and
Yes.
out of your carbon dioxide, right? So very nice. So and some of them you can just bury into the ground. So some of the lower functions that well, you kind of want to have views on your guest room, so you can leave it in a row that's that have viewing out, but other programs that don't need that much of shading, of much sun shining, you can just bury on the ground because it's easier to do it in Mars, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my comment. Yep. Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, just like what Leyland mentioned, I think it has come a long way from midterm. And I think I'm just sending in a reference by Foster and Partners, where they did an habitat in Mars. Like what Leyland mentioned just now, I think the canopy has to be a little bit lower so it covers up, and there will be more efficiency in terms of the oxygen supply. And also there's a big thing about the solar sandstorm in Mars. That's also why a lot of scientists propose living more or less under the ground, so to avoid all the sandstorm. And if you have seen the movie in forgot what that movie's called with Matt Damon.
Martian.
The Martians.
Martian.
Yes. So they like living in Mars. The two biggest challenges are not energy and water. It's actually with the sandstorm and also the temperature difference. So I think those are the biggest problem you have to tackle. And right now the structure looks a bit too thin to handle the sandstorm, and maybe the structure needs to be more robust. So the structure, stronger protection for the people inside. But I think it has. I think just keep developing the kind of modulation and the little pods that people live in, and also can you go back to the slides where you have the interior example or references?
This one.
Yeah, I think what David highlights, like the blue sunset, and I think if you design rooms like this, you should design around the experience. So some of them might be facing like a blue sunset directly, and then some of them facing different kind of maybe rock formations in Mars. And so each of these pods, it emphasizes certain kind of experience of living on Mars, which is different from living on Earth. So it makes it really a special hotel in Mars, and it's worth going for the kind of unique experience. So it could be the color, the lights.
So maybe on the final presentation, I will add in more room with a lot of different views.
Yes, yeah, that would be great. So if you can you see my sketch?
Yes.
So like this here sort of frames the kind of blue sunset behind. But if you consider different kind of, maybe there's like a mountain or rock formation that you want to focus, this frame here might be something different.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something that goes along so that well, I don't know the landscape that you're choosing, so the site what you're choosing, but I can see from the kind of design rendering at the end, so it's sort of built along a cliff, and
Yes.
maybe at certain views you can show the section, almost like you have the cliff with all the special rocks, and then you have and then you have these pods sort of hooked on the side, and maybe this one here, it's slightly inside of the cliff, so it's almost like halfway into the cliff, so it shows the kind of special rocks that you don't get on Earth, and minerals, and maybe some lights inside that kind of reflects different kind of environment inside, and then you have the blue sunset, and then some special lights that turn, so it becomes like a unique experience, almost like the gradient of colors, where you have the colors off from the minerals blend with the color of the sunset, and then it becomes some sort of gradient, and that's some unique experience that you don't get from living on Earth.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I think you'll benefit from exploring the experience in the rooms and certain spaces in the hotel.
Okay, noted.
Good job. I think you found a presentation structure to allow the audience to understand your project a bit more. And with this dialogue between Elizabeth or Isabella, I think you really bring us through the decision, like Mars, and then like how you locate the hotel, and then with the reading of the scientific data to making a decision on building on Mars on a foreign location, and with the energy topic that kind of also inform you by making sure that your decision is more or less correct, so to speak, so that you can really support space traveling. I think, yeah, just good job on that.
And I also want to ask, can you show me how do you arrive this hotel? Is there any sort of references to the entrance space of the hotel?
No, I didn't.
The entrance is the one at the bottom, right?
Yes.
You pointed out.
One did it contain in the entry from the underground.
And where do the spaceships land in, or cars arrive at the hotel? Here.
Because the spaceship is higher a lot from my hotel, so I didn't add in it over there. The last
somewhere here.
yes, it's somewhere really.
Okay.
Last time
I think
I show David this is the bronze scale.
Okay.
Maybe you should design a landing pad as part of your hotel, because
okay.
Yeah, I think the arrival of the hotel is quite important. So it could be a space shuttle like landing portal. You know, the ones in Star Wars where you have like a giant pill where you have fly spaceship in from the upper level, or you could have some sort of rocket landing here really far away, and then it takes a car over, and then this suddenly turns into a landscape giant entrance for the cars. So something like that. So the experience of reaching the hotel, it's quite important for hospitality kind of building. And I think you might want to design like focus on this design. Yeah, it will add to the kind of yeah. the design, overall design.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's quite already quite impressive because before this tutorial, you never used runner before. And right now, you can start even doing some canopy with the grasshopper. So I think you have given that you need to spend some energy learning the software. So I think I think it's hard work you have done. Congratulations
Great
for
progress.
that. and also I think for me sometimes I think the building can be more Martian instead of a more Earth-like. For example, for me, I don't think it's the structure is too thin. I think it can even be thinner because the gravity of Mars. What's the percentage compared to Earth? I remember it's a 1/6 or something like that, because which means that the gravity should be proportional to your square meters of your column. So by that, so you should take advantage of this different gravities to make it more Martian building, because it's very difficult to. Actually, it's also challenging to get rid of this initial of what the feasible structure should look like. You should do the research and to do the calculation to prove everyone that this is what kind of structure you need. Second, I think the scale of your room also need to be increased higher, because due to the low gravity, if you go to your interior render, people can very easily jump to 3 or 4 meters high, right? So you don't want to bump your head, so maybe
I didn't think about it. Okay. I will scale it.
Then lastly, I think once you picking up this software more influently, then you can start to add to this kind of more architectural elements, such as this circulation system and the structure system to your building, make it more tectonic, right?
Okay.
Because otherwise, I think it's good.
Yeah, you can really consider Ben's suggestions of having the starship in this location or in the background, and then the design into this. Yeah, I think that's it. We need to end the discussion here.
Okay. Thank you a lot for the feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep going. We still have a couple weeks before the final presentation, and then you can focus on.
I will.
Yeah, you can focus on producing beautiful drawings for your project. Okay, so we'll go to the next project. Hi, Duha.